Cool. So we're gonna begin. Welcome every day to the second day of our immersion. Today is all about relaxation, and the topic of today is really relaxation and why relaxation is the key. And relaxation's been an important topic recently, not just in pregnancy, but in a lot of fields. And when we talk about mental health and physical health, we're finding that we need to add an element of relaxation to our lives, but more from an active way, not just relax and scroll on your phone or watch a movie, but really actively relax. So I wanted to start today by just a few minutes of talking about why this is so important. And if you have any questions at any point, just, unmute yourself, ask me, or put something in the chat. So we have a nervous system that can exist in various states. Okay, and we're not getting into too much detail today, but we have our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. And usually we're in one state or another state. And that corresponds to a state of, I'm going to put it in terms of more like stress and action and adrenaline, and another state where we're a bit more calm and restorative. And both these states are important. They're important for our survival. They're important for our function and our well-being. However, we need to find that right balance, right? And the thing about these is that they can't coexist. So if you think about it, you cannot be in a state of stress and anxiety at the same time as a state of calm. If you need to be calm, you cannot be stressed. If there's something that requires you to be in stress or action or survival mode, you can't be calm. And if there's something that requires you to be calm, like maybe stroking your cat or your pet, you can't do that in the stress mode. Okay, so we have to learn to go from one to the other. And today we're talking about the calming stress mode, the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation state of the nervous system. Yeah, we want to try and leave behind the active state and come into more of a passive state. And why is that state so important? Okay, well, we know that when we're in a relaxation mode, when our body and our mind is relaxed, we can perform to an optimum level. So mentally, this tends to happen, for example, if you've gone for an exam or a performance or a job interview or an important meeting, we tend to be not relaxed. We go in, we do our thing, and then we leave. And then on the drive home or in the shower or when you're lying in bed, you get that idea, you get that light bulb, you get like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have said that. And those wonderful ideas come because you're in the relaxed state. Okay. And then from a physical point of view, when you're in a relaxed state, your body can also perform to its optimum level. So we know by science that babies grow when they're sleeping, when they're relaxed. We know that our body heals when it sleeps, when it relaxes. We cannot heal, our cells cannot regenerate, we cannot heal if we're not restorative, if we're not in that restorative state. So we know all these things, right? So now this is a pregnancy immersion. And my question is, why does it matter during pregnancy? Why is it so important to be in this relaxed state during pregnancy? And especially during birth, because the pregnancy, when we talk about relaxation during pregnancy, we're referring to preparation for the birth, for the labor, right? So like I said, when you're in a relaxed state, your body can perform to its optimum level if you allow it to perform. So all the hormones can regulate themselves and then they know what to do. So if you're in this relaxed state when you come into labor, for example, your hormones like oxytocin can be released, which can then help with the labor, initiating labor and your contractions and all of that. Your other hormones like the endorphins can come into play and manage your pain. I mean, pain is maybe not the ideal world, but to manage that, the sensations, okay? Not to use pain to attach it to a negative image, but your body can do that. Your body can do that. Your body can manage those feelings. And then if we go into the opposite mode, which is the stress response, right? If we get nervous and anxious, we start producing other hormones similar to adrenaline type of hormones that will inhibit those hormones like oxytocins and the endorphins that we need to let our body do its thing efficiently and to manage the pain. So what I'm trying to say here is that when we're in a relaxed state, our body can do its thing. Yeah. And this is not to say, you know, I know a few of you here are like literally 2 or 3 weeks to your due date. And it's not trying to say, oh, if you haven't done relaxation, you need to do relaxation because otherwise, you know, it's going to be a really difficult labor. That's not the point, because you can't just show up to your labor and say, oh, now I'm going to relax. The point is that relaxation is the key. It's the key for so many things. So if there's one thing you can take with you, is that this trust that when your body is relaxed, it knows what to do. Yeah. And when your body is relaxed, the hormones will do its own thing. Yeah. Your body knows what to do. You just have to trust it. And to trust it, we need to be relaxed. Okay. And of course, that comes with practice, because it's true. We can't just show up to an exam or to the labor room and say, okay, now relax. It takes practice. Yeah. And that's what we're here to do today, to do some practice and to practice relaxation and to get our body and our minds used to that feeling of slowing down, of relaxing, and trusting our body to do its thing. So when the time comes, we know we can do that thing. Okay. So that's really all I wanted to say, because I thought it's nicer to get down to a bit of practice. So are there any questions at this point? Any comments, any thoughts, any concerns that may have come up with anything I've said? No?
I love what you say about you know, it's relaxing. Oh yeah, it's easy to relax, but actually it could be one of the hardest things, learning how to relax. And that you know, it takes practice, that art of slowing down. It's, you know, I always say it's preparing for birth, like preparing for a marathon in many ways, because it's the practice that you do leading up to the big day that makes all that difference. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, thanks. You're absolutely right. And there's the practice element to it. And for example, you know, today we'll do maybe half an hour to 45 minutes. We'll see of a session. And if you don't have that time to practice, it's okay. Just take one of the poses that you're going to do today and just do them for 5 minutes a day. And that's okay. But it's that regular, consistent practice that you can then take with you to when you're running your marathon or when you're giving birth, when you have those 20 hours ahead of you, or you don't know how many hours you have ahead of you, but you can keep going back to that relaxation. Yeah, and also just to reiterate that it's okay to say, hey, I don't want to relax anymore. You know, give me some medication, give me some drugs. That's also okay, because the point of this is not about the outcome. Yeah, we're relaxing to get into the right state, so we're in the right state. It's not so much the object. It's relaxation is not the objective. Yeah, it's not about the outcome. It's about the way we go into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. It's exactly that. It's a tool, right, Krish? It's not another pressure. It's the tool to get you there in a good state and mindset. And what is not important. The important thing is you have the tools with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Just remember, this is another tool to add to your toolkit for whenever you need. And you can choose to use it, or you can choose not to use it. That's completely up to you. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to use a lot of props today. So get anything you've got. I have bolsters here. Get your cushions, get your pillows, get your blankets, and we're going to sit up first to do a little bit of a meditation and some breath before we go into the restorative. We will need a chair, or if you don't have a chair, you could maybe use a ball or the edge of a sofa, something like this. Okay. We'll use it in a bit, but first of all, we're going to sit. And we're going to sit comfortably. So for those of you in your third trimester, feel free to sit up tall with your knees wide. Get yourself, even sit up on a puff or a chair. If you want to sit cross-legged, you can also come and sit cross-legged. Okay. All right. Just bring your hands onto baby. And close your eyes. And breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. So yesterday we talked about confidence and how real inner confidence, the confidence that we were talking about, comes from the heart energy, the heart chakra, which is in the center of the chest. So we're going to bring the hands together to the center of the chest and place the thumbs on that heart center where we started yesterday. And we're going to go back to the energy in the heart center, which was the energy of love. And just keep breathing, relaxing the shoulders and lengthening the elbows away from each other. And today we're going to do a really gentle meditation or mudra, which is a hand gesture, to, I would say, embody that feeling of love, and especially unconditional love, which is the love you have for a child. I think one of the only unconditional loves there is really the love for your child. So breathing in. On the exhalation, bring the hands down, keep the palms together. And then when the palms are at the height of the elbow, open up the palms and open up the palms to the side. Send the elbows away from the screen and then bring them back together, inhaling back to center. Let's do this 5 times. Breathing in, exhaling with that feeling of unconditional love. Spreading it around you, feeling it around your baby, around your belly, and then coming back, hands together. Inhaling, exhaling, opening up. And inhaling, gathering that love from around you, bringing it back into your heart center. Exhaling, taking that feeling of love, opening it out, spreading it around you. Inhaling, coming back. One more time. And exhaling. And then coming back to center. Breathing in and out. And see if you can visualize that feeling of love. It's a feeling, but maybe you can picture it. And if this is difficult, that's okay. Just imagine a white light in the center of your chest. And now take that white light into your hands, in between the palms of the hands. And now draw the hands down to your belly and rub your belly. Give your baby a massage, spreading that feeling of love. Visualize this beautiful white light down to your belly. Okay. And then release your hands and open the eyes. Okay. Now come to sit cross-legged. So if your legs were out, come and sit cross-legged, but sit up high. So especially if you're in your second or third trimester, we want the hips to be above the knees. Then we're going to bring the hands onto the hips and we're just going to move in circles. We're going to do hip circles, gentle hip circles. It's your practice. So you could start small and keep it small, or you could start small and make it big. Yeah. Just going to do a gentle warm up before we come into restorative poses. And now change direction. So wherever you are, try and keep the sitting bones down. So the bones at the base of your buttocks are going down. Okay. And then come back to center. So start making your circles a little smaller until you come back to the axis of the center of your body. Okay. Then from here, we're going to take a breath in, inhaling, reach the arms up and over the head. On the exhalation, we're going to turn towards our right and bring the left arm onto the right knee and the right hand behind you. So with the camera, I don't know who's going right or left. So just left hand on the right knee and turn towards the right. Breathe in and out. As you turn towards the right, press the left sitting bone down and back. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, turn over to the left. So now bring the right hand onto the left knee, left hand behind you. So drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maria, that right shoulder away from the ear. Yeah. And then look over the left shoulder and send the right hip back and down. And then inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands down. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, walk the hands forward. Keep the sitting bones down, down onto the block behind you. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling, come forwards. So you don't have to keep reaching to the front. I'm just moving to the side so you can see. So if your hips start lifting off the floor, stay there. This is your limit. This is your limit. It's okay. Breathing in and out. If this is your limit, that's fine. Okay. And then come back up. We're going to change the cross of the legs and do the same on the other side. Yeah. So we're going to inhale, lengthen, arms up over the head. And on the exhalation, twist over to your right. So left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind you. Take a breath in. Yeah, I'm just looking at the screen, but keep looking over your right shoulder. On the next inhalation, reach the arms up over the head. Turn to look at the center. Exhaling, turn to the left. Bring the hands down. As you turn over to the left, send the right hip back and down. And then inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to the sides, so down to the floor. Press the fingertips down to lengthen the spine. Exhaling, fold forwards. So folding forwards from the hips. So we're not folding forwards from the back, folding forwards from the hip. Hands onto the floor, lengthen, exhale forwards. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling forwards. So of course, depending on the size of your belly, you'll be able to go further down or not. So stay wherever you are without compressing the belly. And then come back up. Okay, and now straighten the legs. Give your legs a shake. Roll them in and out. Just give them a shake. All right. Okay. So we're going to move the bolster and the cushion to the side. We're going to cross the legs, come into a child's pose. Just keep the bolster handy. And we're going to move into a child's pose with the knees wide, big toes together, hips to the heels. So this is okay to do in any trimester you're in. So if you find that your chest can't get to the floor, your head can't get to the floor because you're too far ahead in the pregnancy, take a bolster, take a pillow, roll up a blanket, place it underneath your forehead, and bring the bolster right to the top of the chest, so above the belly, so that baby can just hang. You don't need the bolster, that's fine. For now, we're just going to do a stretch. So if you're okay without the bolster, take the bolster away for the stretch. Bring the forehead down to the floor. Bring the hands down to the floor. So if you can see, just the hands are on the floor. The shoulders, the forearms are above the floor. Send the sitting bones back towards your heel. Reach the fingers forward. And now reach the right fingers forward. Try and walk your right hand up the mat to the top of the mat. Send your right hip back to your right heel. And release. And now lengthen the left arm. Reach the left hand forward. The left fingertips keep walking up the mat. And as the left fingers reach up the mat, the left hip goes back and down. And relax. Okay. And now we're going to come into our first restorative pose, which is child's pose. And we are going to use a bolster. So whether you're first, second, third trimester, even if you're not pregnant, take a bolster or two. Place the bolster above baby. So the bottom of the bolster comes to below the breastbone. If you're not pregnant, you're welcome to take the bolster all the way down into your groin and let your belly rest on the bolster. If you are pregnant, your belly is not resting on the bolster. It's just the top of the breasts, the breastbone. And turn your head to one side. Okay. You can close the eyes here. Yeah, so try and get your hips down to your heels. So Monica, try and get your hips back down to your heels. Yeah. So maybe take two bolsters. Do you have something else you can pad on? Roll up a blanket. Especially when you have a few weeks to go, it becomes harder. So you need a little bit more height. More. Cushions as well. Yeah. Give yourself as much height as you need. And just close your eyes. Let your body close, literally close. Yeah. We want to be comfortable here. So if something's not comfortable, change. Move around. This is also a great position to prepare for labor. And then we're going to change the direction of the neck now. So if you're looking to the right, move your neck over to the left. Yeah. And I'm going to show on the camera for those of you watching at home, if you're struggling getting your hips to touch your feet, you can take a blanket or a towel and roll it up and place it in between the shins, the back of the shins, so the calves and the thighs, and put it here. You can take a pillow and place it underneath your buttocks, and then you could come down. And that might help get some more contact between the hips and the heels. But in this child's pose, breathe deeply, the way that baby is. Your baby in your belly is likely to be in a similar pose like this. Curled up, protected, going within. This is a wonderful way to just calm our nervous system and feel that connection with the earth, that grounding sensation that we need, that earth energy that we need, especially when it comes to giving birth. And from here, slowly come up. So use the hands, use the arms, use the arms, use the arms, walk the hands back to come up. Bring the shoulders over the hips. Okay, great. Now we are going to use the chair. So I have this type of chair. It's a foldable yoga chair, but any chair will do. What we want to do is have the backrest away from us. Okay, we're going to place it along the mat. Okay, now, if you're in your third trimester, you're likely to need some support underneath your back. So I'm going to show you what I would do in my third trimester. We're going to take 2 bolsters or blankets, and we're going to place, so depending on how far you are in your pregnancy. So I'm going to start with the third trimester, and then we'll remove props as we need. You take 1 bolster and place it along, so the same parallel to the chair, and another bolster on top. Use cushions, roll up blankets. So there's like a T shape here. Okay. And then I'm going to sit in between the bolsters and the chair. Might have to move around. We're going to bring the feet up and we're going to lean back. But because in pregnancy, we don't want to lean all back because we don't want to use these ab muscles. Before you lean back, lean over to the side, then roll onto your back and then bring the feet up. It's also the way to get in and out of bed, rolling from the side. Okay. Now, it's always handy to have things near you. So more cushions, more blankets. So for example, here, my head's dipping back. I need a pillow under my head. I'm using a folded blanket. Okay. If your legs are a little short, that's fine. Take something, place it underneath your hips and pop something underneath your hips and come up. Okay. Now, this might be perfectly comfortable for you. It might not be. You might need more height. In that case, take more cushions, more bolsters, and place them underneath. If you need to lean up against something, that's completely fine. Okay. I'm going to let you get into your pose. I'm also going to show how to do it. If you're early in your pregnancy, you're more than welcome just to use 1 bolster lengthwise. You don't even have to use a bolster. You could just come and lie on the floor. You still have to come in from the side. So lean down, roll onto your back, and bring the feet up. Okay. Now, I'm quite short, so for me, it works to place something underneath my hips. Yeah? Anything you have. And place it underneath your hips. And now let the feet go wide. Ideally, your chair has some support on the side so your feet don't drop out. You could stay here if this doesn't feel comfortable, bring the soles of the feet together, and you could put the outer edge of the feet onto the base of the chair and let your feet come out into a diamond shape. Okay? Whichever feels good for you, either with the soles of the feet together, knees wide, or the calves on the chair. Okay? So I'm just going to have a look. If there's any questions, let me know. Otherwise, close your eyes. Make yourself comfortable. So I think, Maria, are you okay there with the chin? Is it coming? Do you need to open up the chest a little more? It looks like it might be collapsing your upper chest. Yeah. And then bring the hands down. I can't see if people have their arms up or down, but keep the arms down. Yeah, so down towards the hips with the palms facing up. And just breathe. Yeah. Breathing in and breathing out. And here we're going to extend the out breath. This means that we're going to breathe in, and the exhalation is going to be longer than the inhalation. So for example, if my inhalation is about 4 counts, my exhalation would now be about 6 counts. So inhaling 2, 3, 4, exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's just as an example. Find the count that works for you. It might be breathing in for 2, breathing out for 4. It might be breathing in for 5, breathing out for 8. So don't overthink it. Just find a rhythm that works for you, that helps you in this relaxation. We're not competing with ourselves to see how long we can hold that breath. We want to keep it flowing and light. So if that means breathing in for 2 counts and breathing out for 3, that's fine. Think of pregnancy as part of you flowing through life, and this is where we flow with the breath. We're not holding the breath at any point. The breath just comes in, comes out. And if this is just too much concentration, forget about the counts. Forget about controlling the breath. Just relax. Let your feet be supported. Your legs and your feet are carrying around all this extra weight. They're taking the weight of the baby. The pressure of this growing being inside you is going down. So let the legs rest. Give your legs some lightness. Okay, and then slowly, if you're controlling and counting with your breath, just let go. So stop at the last exhalation, just release. And then we're slowly, we're going to bring the feet down first. We're going to roll over to the side. So bring the legs down and roll over to your side to come up. Okay. Everybody okay? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. No dizziness. Good. Okay. So we're going to keep this chair in front of us. We're going to do a twist on the chair. So I'm going to show you first on the left. I'm going to take, so if I'm going to sit with my right hip facing the chair, I'm going to drop my knees down towards the chair. And here you'll need to maybe move around a little bit to get comfortable. What we want to do is face our upper body to the chair. Okay, so I'm going to lift my hips up, bring the outer edge of the right hip onto the mat. So it's not the right buttock on the mat, it's the outer edge of the right hip on the mat, which means I lift and scoot. Yeah. And bring the forearms onto the chair. Turn my chest, my face to face the chair, and fold over the chair. Okay. Now, again, see how this feels. If you need a little bit more height, you could go to the edge of the sofa or your bed, or if you have a Pilates ball, you could do it on a Pilates ball. If this is too high and you don't feel anything, you could take a bolster. So I'll move the chair out of the way. And you can lie on the bolster and turn your face over towards the right. Even if you're on the chair, you can turn your face towards the right. Yeah. So bring the forearms to the base of the chair. So bend your elbows. Yeah, so bend the elbows. So one forearm, the forearms are one over the other, like that. Yeah. And then bring the forehead down and then look towards the right elbow. So turn your head. So you're twisting. So there's no pressure on baby here. Okay, if you feel any pressure in the lower abdomen, move your legs away from the chair. See if that relieves the pressure. If that's too much on the back, then bring them forward. See what works for you. Okay. And breathe. So what we're doing here is a twist and a forward fold. Yeah, forward fold, especially when we rest our head on something solid, it helps our brain relax. Yeah. So just breathe here. We have a solid base, which is this chair, which is telling us that it's okay, we're safe. Your brain says, okay, I'm relaxing now. And then slowly we're going to come up. So starting from the head, we lift the head, look towards the chair, and use the arms to bring yourself up. Okay. We're going to bring the feet over to the other side. So walk the feet over. Over to the other side. I'm going to move my chair so you can see what I'm doing in the camera. Okay, so now your left hip is facing the chair. Bring the feet wide and drop the knees over towards the chair. Bring the inside of the left foot, the sole of the left foot, to the right thigh. Okay. And just start by turning your chest towards the chair. Bring the hands down, lift your hips, and come onto the outer edge of the left hip, the bony bit. So if you're sitting on the left buttock, lift and sit on the left outer hip, the bony bit of the hip, the trochanter, the greater trochanter. Okay. And then keep sending your chest towards the chair. And then bring the forearms onto the chair. and bring the forehead down. And if that's okay for the neck, turn the neck towards the left elbow. Now, feel free to adjust. So move around, move your hips if you need to, move your knees up towards the chair or away from the chair. See what works for you. So keep staying there and have a look. Yeah. See if you can get your upper back fully facing the chair. Yeah, the whole upper back facing the chair. So tendency is to be a little bit to the side. See if you can get your whole upper back facing the chair. And then turn the neck. So you might feel it more on one side than the other side. Maybe it takes a while to actually find that comfort zone. That place where you can just be. So it might be a little uncomfortable, maybe. Use the breath. And breathe through that, knowing that anything that's discomfort doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Pain, especially in yoga, is not a good thing. We move away from pain. But with discomfort, you can breathe. You can try and understand where that discomfort comes from. Especially like when we enter our labor phase, giving birth. There'll be sensations which are not comfortable. We don't have to fear them. We can breathe through them and be with them. And move if you need to move. To adjust that sensation, go for it and move. Okay. And then slowly come back up. So turn the head, go back to the center of the chair. Use the hands and push yourself up. Okay. And we're gonna bring the knees towards the chair. And we've got two options here. The first is we're going to sit with the legs out wide. Okay. Now, if you're second or third trimester, especially, take something, a cushion, a folded up blanket, a yoga pad, and sit on it. So elevate your hips. Bring the forearms onto the chair and lean forwards. Okay, you can do this on a yoga ball. You could do this on the edge of the sofa. If for whatever reason this is not comfortable for you, you could try bending the knees. So I'll show you a similar variation with the knees bent, the big toes together. You could place something in between the hips and the feet and lean forwards this way. So this might be too much on the knees, possibly. If it is, then bring the legs out straight. Lean forwards. Close the eyes. And breathe. Let the forehead be heavy. And let your belly relax. Just keep breathing. Use this opportunity to allow yourself to actually slow down. to allow your body to calm down. To allow the frequency of your thoughts to just slowly quieten and lessen. Just breathe. And slowly start unrolling from the head. So lift the chin and straighten the arms and bring the head over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. Okay. And take a moment here. All right. So we're going to come into our final relaxation. We're going to be there for about 10 minutes in the last one. So it's really important that you're comfortable. Okay. And this will be different for different people. So we're going to take the chair away and we're going to get bolsters and blankets. And by comfortable, I mean everything from the position that you're in to the temperature that you're in. So if you need to wear some socks or a jumper, go ahead and do that. If you need to turn the lights down because they're disturbing your face, go ahead and do that. Okay. So if you're in your first or second trimester, you're welcome to lie on your back, put a bolster underneath your knees. I'll show you what I mean. So you could put a bolster underneath your knees and lying back. So starting from the side, coming onto the side, rolling back if you're in your first or second trimester. Now, if lying on your back is not an option for you today, we're going to do that T shape with the bolsters. So we're going to take one bolster or one cushion, put it lengthwise, take another bolster, another cushion, put it up. Now, give yourself as much height as you need. Okay. If you're towards the end of your pregnancy and this is still too low, go to the sofa and lean against the sofa. Okay, or take a Pilates ball. So what you could do here, if you're in your third trimester, you could just pile up cushion over cushion, make yourself more T shapes. Yeah, so it's a bit of trial and error, especially because week by week our body is changing. Okay, you could also take a cushion and a pad and put it at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit and we're going to lean back. Okay, we're going to let the legs be out straight and we're going to lean back. Now it's important to be comfortable. So again, for example, my head here is tipping up back too much. Ideally, I want to keep a long line in the neck. So I would need something underneath my head. So I don't know if you can see the difference. Hopefully you can. But the chin is slightly going down towards the chest. It's not crunching, but it's not going away from the chest. And the back of my neck is long. And here I feel like I can relax. So see what works for you. You might need something underneath your hips. You might be better directly on the floor. You might not need all these props underneath your back. You might be okay lying on the ground. If this is too much too much for you right now, all these props and all these bolsters, you don't have any, just come and lie on your left side. Leaning on the left. We did it at the end of the class yesterday. You can place a bolster or something underneath your knees and lie on the left. Okay. So something where you can be comfortable. That's not your bed, ideally, just for today, where you can be for about 10 minutes. Okay. If your legs are feeling very heavy and you have restless leg syndrome, you could always take that chair, bring the chair back, roll into your back, and put the feet back up onto the chair. Okay. And again, this changes week by week. So it's okay not to attach yourself to one of your favorite variations and just change as along. So once you've found your comfortable place, just stay there. I'm going to talk you through a visualization. Okay. So make any adjustments you need. Any final movements, maybe a wriggle of the shoulders or the legs. Another pillow here or there. Wherever it is, underneath your knees or behind your head. And wherever you are, let your palms just face the sky. Yeah. And start breathing in and out. Softly. Let the breath in flow into the breath out. And just feel your body being soft, warm, open, and relaxed. Feel your breath coming in and out. Your body moving gently with the breath. Feel the baby breathing. The baby moving with the breath in and the breath out. Baby's own breath. Now, as you breathe in and out, feel the prana, that life energy, that life force around you. And breathe that life force in and out. And you can visualize this life force, this energy, as white light, like a dancing white light, softly flowing white light. And take this white light and let it come in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. And then take this white light and let it come in through your nostrils, down to your lungs, down to your heart. And exhale it out from the heart to the lungs, back out of the nostrils. And then take this white light on the next breath in, let it flow in through the nostrils, down to your lungs, your abdomen, to your baby, down to the hips, to the thighs, to the knees. Keep flowing that white light, keep breathing from the knees. Send that white light down to the legs, the ankles, tops of the feet, the heels, base of the feet, and your toes. Feel that white light around your toes, in between your toes, in your toenails. Keep breathing. On the next inhalation, take that white light, let it come in through your nostrils, down to your lungs, to your heart. Spread it out to your shoulders, to the upper arms, to the elbows, to the forearms, to the wrists. And spread that white light to the top of the hands, to the fingers, to the base of the hand, to the palm of your hands, down to your fingernails. Keep breathing. And the next inhalation, go back to that white light and breathe it in through the nose, down to your neck. Fill the neck with white light. Then send the white light up to your face, to your cheekbones, to your nose, to your eyes, down to your eyeballs, your eye sockets, the forehead. And fill the forehead with white light. Fill the center of the forehead with this white light. Then send this white light to the skin of your head, to the scalp. And let your whole scalp covered in white light. And just keep breathing. When you breathe in, feel that white light coming into every cell of your body. Breathe that white light and let it seep into every part of your body, every part of your being. And feel your body becoming light like a feather that's floating in the wind. Feel your body becoming light like a balloon that's floating through the air. Now take this white light and bring it to your baby. Surround your baby with this prana force, this life force, which is made of love. Surround your baby with this beautiful feeling of love, knowing that the baby is protected, cocooned with this feeling of love. And then breathe in the white light and let it surround yourself and your baby, both of you. You're together and connected, but you're also separate. You're both surrounded by this white light. And as you breathe in white light, with the inhalation, breathing in a feeling of love and freedom. And with the exhalation, exhaling white light with a sense of release and surrender. Inhaling, breathing in white light bringing love, freedom into your cells, to you and your baby. And as you breathe out that light and release and surrender. And if you've got any visualizations or mental imagery going on now, just let it go. Come back to your breath. Slowly move your toes. Just wriggle your toes, your ankles. Really slowly and softly start bringing some movement into your legs. There's no need to open the eyes or move the rest of the body yet. We're going to come out slowly. And then just bend the knees. And roll over onto your side. So wherever you were, if you were lying on the pillows or you were lying on your back, bend the knees. Just roll over onto your side. Rest on your side for a few breaths. And then really softly and gently, using the arms, bring yourself up to seated. So walk the hands, use the arms to come into seated. Any comfortable seat. Bring the hands together to the heart center. Thumbs pressing into the heart center. Going back to that white light at the heart center. Knowing that you can take that light, that feeling of love and joy and freedom into your hands, literally into your hands, and place them anywhere you want. Take a breath in. On the exhalation, bow your head down to your heart, to your baby. On the inhalation, lift the chin and open the eyes. Thank you.